Morning, beautiful people. Great morning, great morning. How are you this morning? I am Terrell Munger. I want to thank you for joining in to a sexy cup of coffee, because that is what we do. We have a great conversation to start our morning. We have a great conversation to start our day. We have a great conversation to start our week, because we know that how we start a thing gives us the energy to complete what we wanted to start. Go ahead and while you join in, share with your friends, share with those that are close to you, because it's important that we grow, but it's mostly important that we grow together. I'm glad I turned my camera around so we can actually see face to face, because every now and then there's some technical difficulty. Good morning, Jasmine. Great to see you. Great to see you. I'm going to start what I call a sexy cup of coffee. It is a formula that I put together based on your social level, your education level, your communication level, and we know that it ultimately affects your influence level, because that is what we want. We want to have influence in the environments that we go into. And since you're joining in and you join in consistently, I just want to welcome all the sexy people. If you're sexy and you know it, just clap your hands. Clap your hands. Let me see the clap signs. Let me know you're in here. If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. Clap your hands. I'll go ahead and jump in, because for those that are watching now and for those that will be watching later on, don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to give 7 minutes of strategy, because that is what we do so we can be more effective in the things that we put our mind and our heart and our efforts to. Now, today's strategy is to be like water. That's today's strategy, to be like water. Why am I saying that? Because water has some characteristics that are amazing. If we could take on some of those things as people, it can help us accomplish some of the things that we want to accomplish. I want to look at one of the things about water. Water is refreshing. It's refreshing. If you're hot, if you're thirsty, water meets the need. And if you want to survive in this world, you have to be a person that meets the need. You have to be a refreshing attitude, a refreshing mindset, a refreshing person to whatever environment that you're in. It is important that you are a refreshing entity in the environment that you are in, because people want to be a part of fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, fresh effort, because it motivates and inspires them. And I want to tell you something else about water. It makes things look better. Water washes away dirt. Water doesn't carry dirt. If you're the type of person that you have to make other people look bad for you to look good, you don't look that good. If you can make other people look better, you become valuable. And when you become valuable, that's where your profit comes from. That's where your increase comes from. People buy Gucci because they think it make them look better. People buy Nike. People buy all of this stuff because they feel like it makes them look better. When you add value and make things look better and make people feel better, you open up a door for yourself to rise as high as you want to go. So the first step with water is refreshing. It brings a new energy. The second thing is water is persistent. It's persistent. And I want to look at the water that's like in a stream. The water that's in a stream is very persistent. It keeps flowing. If it's hot, it's flowing. If it's raining, it's flowing. And matter of fact, streams, waters of stream is the last water that will freeze. It takes a lot to freeze that, because it's always moving. You can't stop it. You can put a rough stone in the middle of it. It finds a way around it. It finds a way over it. It keeps going. And it flows so much and flows so well that even that rough stone, if it sits in the flowing water actually smooths out the rough place. So the best thing you can do is be consistent. Don't lower your expectation because the people around you don't want much. Don't become a bad employee because you work around a bunch of other bad employees. Don't become a gossiping person because you're around a bunch of gossiping people. The thing about streams, it flows. It is what it is. It's consistent. And the more consistent you are, the more people will know how to find you when they need what you have to offer. But if you're sometimes there, you're sometimes not, you're sometimes effective, you're sometimes not, it makes it harder for doors to open for you. So if you're going to be like water, you have to be consistent. And there are a few things you can be consistent, and you can be consistently nice. I know sometimes people get on your nerves, but learn to count to 10. Learn to say, hey, I've done this sometimes before. I want people to forgive me. I forgive them. You have to be consistently the one speaking when you come into a room. The one that's consistently trying to find the bright side of things, trying to find the positive spin on it. You have to be consistent. Consistency is an important part of your persistence. Persistency and consistency opens up doors that you would never imagine. If you and when I was in the military, they would point their finger at you because they couldn't hit you, but they'll point their finger in your chest. And they do it enough time, it starts to hurt. So no matter how powerful you think you are, if you keep plugging away at a thing, you're going to knock it down and you're going to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish because you are persistent. Now, another thing about water is if you pour water in a glass, it takes on the shape of the glass. If you pour it in a jug, it takes on the shape of the jug. Whatever you put water in, even if you put water in a cold environment, it adjusts to the cold. If you put it in a hot environment, it adjusts to the heat. It adjusts to room temperature. You have to be the type of person that you can adjust to any environment no matter what shape the water takes on, it's still water. You have to be able to adjust to any environment without changing who you are. Sometimes you have to sit back and pay attention. What is the language of this environment? What are their norms? What do they get offended by? If you pay attention to all of these things, you will look up one day and you will have influence in that room because you had the ability to adjust. Water takes on room temperature. And I'm going to tell you, anybody that has an environment, they'd rather take somebody who doesn't disrupt the environment, who doesn't have a bad attitude more than they would with someone with talent. So you don't have to be the most talented, the most gifted. You don't have to be the most knowledgeable. But if you can adjust to a room and not disrupt the environment, you can make more progress and have more influence in that room. There's a difference between disrupting an environment and changing an environment. A disruptor can come in and wreck stuff, or there can be a positive disruption, which means change, which means influence for the better. You want to be a person that your influence is always for the better. But before you start making changes, you have to adjust the environment, know why they do what they do, know why they handle things that way. And once you find out why they do what they do and how they do it, you can find a better way to do it. And if you respected where they are and you respected their culture and you respected their ways, they'll respect your ideas and you can bring about change. All right, guys, that's my strategy for this week. Be like water. Become like water. Watch this again if you have to, but I think it will add value to your life. Now, you can visit my page, TerrellMunger.com. You can even go and check your sexy score to see how influential you are in the particular rooms that you are going in. But if you do that, I'm just going to tell you guys, whatever you do, make it meaningful, make it impactful, make it personal, but above all, make it sexy, because you're going to need that. Now, if you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. Share it with somebody. Tell somebody, because I believe it's going to add value to your day. All right, guys. Love you.